today I'm building a house for a single dad and his teenage daughter. I still feel really awkward doing these intros because I feel a need to introduce myself and I don't want to. So I feel like I just come in here and I start talking, and you know what, that's completely fine. So this house is for my save file, so I will be using it personally, but I'm also going to be sharing it. So if you want to download this, it will be available on my Patreon, again, completely free. The CC will be included and the tree files will be included. Please keep in mind that the build CC file is going to be quite large. I think it was like 300 items. I do not intend on making builds that are CC free. I'm sorry if anyone is interested in that, but as this is for my own personal gameplay and I'm simply sharing this just for fun, and so to share something with the community, I won't be changing my build style or changing my usage of CC. I'm perfectly happy to maybe reduce it a little bit if anyone has a request for a specific kind of build, but their computer can't handle a lot of CC and they just want a minimal amount. But yeah, as of right now, because this is just for me and I'm just sharing it, it's gonna be what it is. That's 300 items, so please be prepared if you are downloading that and you have a lower end PC, because I do not want your PC to explode. But you know what, I get the struggle because I was playing Sims 3 on my dad's Dell laptop in 2013 when I lived at his house, and that thing was fried. It was cooked. But yeah, so this build, as it is for my save file, it is pretty much infused with a story for a pair of Sims in my save file. So I don't know if I said this already, but the more specific way I would refer to this is a widowed single dad's home. Although I say widowed loosely because there's no confirmation whether his wife is actually dead because she went missing. My save file is set in I want to say Pacific Northwest, but I'm not really relying too much on the aesthetic of the houses, more so the nature surrounding it. So there's a lot of forest, and I don't know, that's the perfect environment for a mystery, right? So his wife went missing when his daughter was fairly young, and they kind of stayed in this town for their whole lives, basically. I think maybe they were intending to leave, or they had bigger aspirations, and they've been in this house for a really, really long time. So there's quite a lot of wear and tear happening, and I tried to make it so that the dad and the daughter had a very similar. I wanted it to be clear that they were a close family, and I wanted it to be clear also in another way that grief was somehow taking part in their habits around the house. I think the dad perhaps hasn't moved on really at all from the disappearance of his wife. I was thinking he could either be a detective or a musician. I wasn't 100% on that, but I'll get into that in a second. So he hasn't moved on, and there's quite a lot of clutter, quite a lot of boxes of old things hanging around the house, and they just they've gathered up a lot of stuff. They're not very clean people, I'd say. So you've got old pizza boxes, old takeaway, cups and plates and stuff. The house has kind of been let go a little bit, and as they have lived here for a very long time, there's some signs of the house is falling apart, maybe a little bit. I didn't go too crazy with it, because they still love their house. They wouldn't have stayed here that long if they didn't love it. But yeah, you can definitely get a sense of that. And I tried to reflect that a little bit in his daughter, just because she didn't really know her mother. She disappeared when she was very young, so she kind of just picked up on the habits of her dad. So she's very messy, the same as him. There's quite a lot of mess from her around the house too. And they have a lot of interests in common. So they're both very interested in music. They're both very interested in sports. You can really feel that they're close because they both have guitars in their house. I think I put a music poster in the living room. Yeah, so they're very you can really feel get a vibe for them. And obviously if you're just wanting the house and you're not really gonna play with Sims who fit into what I've already done, that's completely fine. Like I said, this is firstly for me and secondly to share. So all of my builds that I release will have some kind of like story, and all the Sims will have personalities, and you'll be able to get a sense of like what I was thinking of when I made it and like what my intentions were. Just because that's fun. Yeah, so like the floor plan, I can't do floor plans. Can I just say, like, I'm really like horrendous at them. I'm already not like a builder. Like, I don't build. Um, so the floor plan was like a pain, and it does change several times throughout this video. The only thing that doesn't change is like the left side of the house, but the right side changes. So you can very clearly see that the living room is like at the back of the house. But as I was making it, I realized that that is not natural. Like, not that the living room can't be at the back, but that like having two bedrooms at the front and then the living room, kitchen, and dining all being at the back feels a little bit off to me, and so I just pushed it to the front. Like, I just swapped it with the dad's bedroom, and that just made so much more sense to me. Like, I was really not like vibing with it being like at the back with everything else, so I moved it. Yeah, I do really like how this build came out though. It like I said, it was very long. I think it was like 4 hours maybe. Okay, it's not that long, but like editing it down was like very frustrating for me. Um, so I didn't have fun doing that. But I will have fun uploading this and being done with it and not having to think about it again. It's been play tested as well. I did play test it. So because I use a lot of clutter, it can be very difficult to make sure that things are functional. But in my test, okay, almost everything was functional, and anything that wasn't, I fixed or I left and will tell you about now. So the kitchen is fully functional. The clutter that I place on the counters you'll see in this video, some of it is gone or like moved. I'm sorry, I did try really hard to keep it, but there was nowhere else for it to go, and the kitchen wasn't going to be functional without it. In future, let me know if you'd rather I just leave it non-functional in kitchens, and you can just like move stuff yourself. Because usually it's the kitchen that's like a lot of struggle, because like if you put anything on like a counter, like the game will freak out. I don't know what happened, because I swear you used to be able to like have anything on the counter and your sim would just like cook on top of it, and now they won't do that like at all. Like my sims would cook inside the microwave, and they're not doing that anymore. Like what is up with that? Like you like genuinely you can't even have anything like in the corner, or they'll freak out and they won't do it. So yeah, kitchen is fully functional. Actually, I didn't test the microwave, but yeah, it should be okay. The bedrooms are fully functional as far as I can tell. The bathroom, I also had to change some things around just because the way that it was going, it was not working. Nothing too crazy. Like all the CC is still there. I just had to like move the toilet, I think. What else? The laundry, that because there is a laundry system happening in this house, is also functional. The TV is functional. The only things that aren't functional, I think, is the dog bed in the living room, which you can't see right now. I'm getting ahead of myself. The dog bed in the living room, and also the dining room table, because I just love cluttering dining room tables, and I'm also okay like with this family specifically. I don't think they eat at in the dining room. I think they eat on the couch. Like, you know, they're those people who like they eat dinner on the couch and they watch like TV together. So yeah, it's up to you whether you want to like move some things around and make it so that they like can eat on the dining table, or if you want to keep it so that they eat on the couch. Completely up to you. Do whatever you want. So the sim who lives here, the daughter, in my save file, her name is Sam, but do whatever you want, you know, again. So her room specifically, I had in mind, I designed it to sort of like reflect childhood in a sense. So while I didn't keep any like toys in there or anything, I did give her like a floral bedding, because she's a more like masculine sim, I'd say, although that may change if I decide to like, you know, not do that. I don't know, but as of right now, like my idea for her is she's more masculine. So floral bedding's a little bit off for her, but she had it when she was a kid and she's just never changed it, and maybe it's like sentimental, I don't know. And she's got like, you know, the blue walls that every like kid had in the 2000s, you know, and you know, it never gets painted off, you just keep it there forever. And she does have like a few little like pieces of items of makeup items, makeup, I'll just say makeup clutter. She does have some makeup clutter in her bedroom as well, because her best friend actually is the girl who lives in the house that I did in my last speed build, in like the big teen girl bedroom. And she stays over all the time, and they're very, very close. Maybe a little bit more than just close on one end. Who's to say? Um, so she's got like some nail polish, and I think some like a makeup palette, and maybe some shoes. So I did try and like, and also there's another chair in there, which is fun. It's one of the dining room chairs, because I did actually not put that many dining room chairs at the table, because I was like, you know what, some of these are going to be like in the dad's room and one in the daughter's room. So that's what I did. So there's a sense of like realism and like a lived in thing happening here. Again, like trying to very much go with like environmental storytelling, so that everything feels like it has a purpose. Like you can tell when someone's just walked in the door and thrown their shoes down. That kind of vibe is like what I'm going for. So yeah, she's got her best friend's stuff everywhere, and that's, you know, that's what I was going for. When it comes to the exterior of the house, I think that I struggled a little bit. I couldn't quite grasp what it was that I wanted to do. I think it came out okay. I like the backyard, but the front I'm a little bit like back and forth on. Just trying to make it so that it reflects and matches the environment that I'm trying to create in my like save file. But I think just like as a build that I've uploaded, and for everyone to have, like, it's completely fine the way it is, and it doesn't need to be changed. It's just like personal preference, me trying to figure out what I want to do with it. There shouldn't be any issues with any of that, because your sim doesn't really like have a need to like be out there. Yeah, so we are in the kitchen right now. I am cluttering. I think we're actually almost done in the kitchen. And when we move on to the living room, you will see a couple of really like fun items that I had a lot of fun like putting down, like the poster on the wall, and like the little calendar and stuff. But yeah, I think I might leave this voice over here. I know that there's still like, how much longer? Like maybe 30 minutes. I did originally do a recording of this voiceover where I talked for I think about 20 minutes, so I wanted to like reach a halfway point. But I don't think there's really much else for me to say at this point in the video. Oh, except maybe like I am interested in any like speed builds that anyone would, or like creator sims that anyone would like to see. Just like as suggestions. Like there's no guarantee that I'll actually do it, because I am like limited on like time and energy and motivation, honestly. Yeah, if anyone has anything that they would like to see, feel free to suggest, and then if I do it, I do it, and if I don't, then I don't. But I also was intending on doing a speed build for an Australian house, because I'm Australian, if that wasn't clear. I know some people think that I'm British, but I'm not. I am Australian. And there's not a very big Australian community for The Sims that I'm aware of. I know we have two really big like Sims creators who are Australian, but I have never seen them, and you know what, this could just be that I don't watch them. I've never seen them do like speed builds for Australian houses, and that's a little bit like sad, because I feel like we we don't really have anything. Like Sims is already very American, and I know some people have an issue with that. I don't really mind it, because I do generally just really love suburbia. I play with families, so suburbia is kind of like my niche. Obviously, like families can live anywhere, but I think I play with families, and I also grew up in suburbia, so it's just like, you know, kind of the same as like if you grew up in the countryside, then you would prefer the countryside, and that would feel like a family oriented place for you. I think I love like the like small town mystery classic movie vibe, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's very prevalent in like America, and so Sims is really American, and there's not much that goes outside of that, especially for places like Africa and like Asia. I know we do have Mount Komorebi. And I guess you would say semi-Shuno, but I don't know. It's not enough. And I know that we'll never get an Australia-based world, but because we don't really need it, to be honest. Like, what does Australia have to offer? Nothing. A beach? Like, and that wouldn't even feel fair because Australia is just kind of notorious for beach, and that's not really like what our country is, because so much of our country is actually just dirt. Dirt in the middle everywhere. So if anything, I would want to see the outback, but then again I don't. So like I just don't feel a need for it. But anyway, so my point is, I was wanting to maybe do an Australia build, like a build for an Australian like suburban house, because I've not seen anyone do that, and I think maybe I would enjoy it. And my partner actually was telling me, like, why don't you make a save file based on Australia? And I was like, I'm not doing that. But you know what? I could still do a build. I was thinking maybe doing two, because one of them I wanted to do based off of my childhood home, and the other one I wanted to do just for fun, because when I am on the bus home from work, because no, I don't drive, I see a lot of houses and I'm like, wow, I want to build that in The Sims. So I might do that, but I think it'll be like very niche, and I don't think there's an audience for it. So you know, like, give it a chance. Like, give it a like. My boyfriend says that Australian houses are very similar to American, and I don't agree with that at all, because when I see American houses, or like when I think of America, I think of like clapboard siding, siding or sidling, I don't know. Whereas Australia's brick. Like, we're just straight brick everywhere. Unless there's like places that are doing clapboard siding, but I don't know about them. Where I live in Australia, it's literally like you're either brick or you're like brick, but you can't see the brick. So like, just they painted over it. I don't know that much about architecture. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that they're that similar. And I think our houses also are less often like 2-story, whereas American houses are either like I feel like when people think of American houses, they think of like big McMansions that are like 2-story houses. And I hate a McMansion, but whatever. So I was thinking of doing that. If anyone's interested, like, let me know. I was also thinking of doing a diner, because I do have a diner in my save file, but I want to make one that's completely my own. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if I end up doing it. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. I hope you enjoyed me going off on a tangent about the story behind this build. I do wish I could do like the full length voiceover, because I know that some people love to just like put videos on in the background and listen to them, and they may not necessarily like sit through this if I'm just playing music. But unfortunately, I have to go. So yeah, the download will be in the description below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Enjoy.